Synthesis. You're back again. Just in time, we have need for you. You managed to prevent Raban Vard's provocation for ever being published. A good effort, and one that brought us time. In order to take advantage of the situation, Prime Minister Blaine has shifted his schedule to fly out to Triflith and meet Kasarth to calm down the situation permanently. Raban Vard might have taken a severe blow, but he is far from giving up. Instead, he fired shots. See for yourself. Okay. This one I know about. Hey, there he is. Little Harrison O'Donnell. Movie release endangered by lawsuit. Okay. Yeah. Seen this before. Okay. I've seen this before, sorry, I meant. Okay, administration log. Let's see. Remove. Remove contributor status from user Daniel. Oh. Oh. Raban is taking things for himself. Could it be that our actions cause a bit of trouble among the ranks of the people's voice? Good. Okay. Okay. War is inevitable. They are out to discredit me and bring down what the people's voice stand for. But, sorry, we are stronger than them. I may have lost this battle, but the war is not over. We will fight back against the traitors Cassard and Blaine, who own this manipulative government apparatus designed to keep us under control. The government of the nation have dragged my family into this conflict, and I will not let them get away with this. I'm still here, and so is the people's voice, and we are loud. We have a strong group of supporters who are loyal and will help us get back on track. Know thyself, know thy enemy. We will fight back with a complete new people's voice, resonating a kind of strength never seen before. I hereby declare war on the government of the nation, who are trying to enslave their own people by manipulating the media. Down with the government, down with Kazart and Blaine. Basically, declared a state of war. That's okay. Don't need that. Urban, things are getting out of hand with the people's voice. All of these personal insults against you are flying around on Blabber. Oh wait, this is yesterday. You are such a coward. You have always been. Damn. There's some infighting going on right now. Is there a draft? Okay, this draft is still available. What's with this music? It's like a mosquito zooming around. Kind of annoying. What do we want to do here? Why is it still lit up? Yeah, I don't think that's important, but they want me to waste the 10 minutes. Here we go. War. War! Can you believe it? Who does this prick think he is? Agent, this has to end today. Vart will no longer undermine the peace in neither Parges nor the nation. If it's war he wants, we can accommodate him. We have our own arsenal, the likes of which Vart doesn't dare to dream about. When Orwell was created, the office requested a number of additional features beyond the day to day task of investigators. Some top level government members they had the obnoxious idea to objected. They had an obnoxious idea to integrate an ethical codex into Orwell, limiting these capabilities. That's great sounding. Naturally, this would not do for us. We are the nation's wardens, and we won't be restricted by some arbitrary set of rules. Oh my god. So we found a way, as we always do, to develop a branch of the Orwell project, the very piece of software you're using right now. Time to make use of its full potential. Oh my god. Okay. What are we doing? Influencer. Behold the influencer, the centerpiece of our very own version of Orwell. Not even the government has a clue that thing exists. Nor the other guy. It can spread the story through social media channels. Oh, efficiently and thoroughly, and I'm putting you in charge of it. What? What's going on? Wait, what? First, we need a thesis. A key statement which Raban made in the last article. One moment, I'm missing some information. Got it. Back into it. The I need a thesis. What are you talking about? The government dragged my family into this. Has accused the government of dragging it into this. Okay, but that's true. The government dragging his family into conflict. They should have clearly opposed Raban's actions and nothing would have happened. That's true. Well, we will counteract this claim accordingly. Let me set that in the influencer. Here we go. Here's how this works. We can't simply make up and randomly spread stuff. Instead, I need to get me palpable information which can be used to counter Raban's statement. From pairs of data chunks that create a certain context together, I can construct a narrative which can then be spread in the influencer. This is kind of messed up. So, find me data chunks to construct a narrative form. With the thesis set in the influencer, new data chunks may be discovered in old documents or call script transcripts. Take a look around. Thesis, the people's voice. I'm not really sure what's happening. The government has willfully dragged Raban's Vard family into conflict. I don't understand the system yet. Levine Fart Karen. Okay, she's arrested. Was on the phone with her husband. Raban truly had some remarkable timing with his call to Karen. The wrong woman in the wrong place might turn out to be a windfall for us. This is good, but not enough on its own. All we need for this to work is some fitting context to mix with it. What are you talking about? Okay. Leaves other editors to be enemy. Okay, I guess that can further the narrative, I guess, that we want to put forward. Raban is becoming more and more unhinged, sensing betrayal around every corner. Yes, we can use that, but not enough on its own. We need a good context to put this into. Okay. Uh-huh. With context. I guess they're only making known a few points that are going to be interesting. Like, Just to be the tutorial for this influencer thing. Believes Karen Levine are threatened the okay. So we're making a narrative where he is now against his family? Ruban Vart is becoming more and more paranoid. He senses conspiracy and danger everywhere. Serves him right. He sees his family as danger to his work, and then she gets arrested out of nowhere. One could draw conclusions from that. Why not help the people a bit? What do you think of this? Agent, the first narrative, is ready to be spread through the influencer. To do so, drag it into the slot in the influencer window and confirm it. Using the influencer is extensive and takes about an hour to complete. We'll only get very limited chances of spreading narratives today. Make sure they count. However, I should probably warn you, what's out there is out there forever. And information can be a most devastating weapon. Now, if you do the honor. What are you talking about still? Oh wait, the thesis is that the government has willfully dragged Raban Vart's family into the conflict. But the antithesis is that blame on Raban. Did Raban Vart sell his wife Karen to the cops? Oh, I see. We're putting, yeah, antithesis. Yes, I get it now. I get now. Yes, this was a good tutorial. I get. Man, this is a real fight. One hour's passing. So who is sending these things though? Why were you on the phone with your wife when she was at the Circle Mall, Raban? The first information spread by your command alone. It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of truth, isn't it? Oh, I believe we pulled the right strings here. People have swallowed the bait, as you can see on Blabber. We had some good impact on the listener count. I have no doubt the Raban won't let go so easily. I wouldn't be surprised to see an appropriate response from him soon. Perhaps you can find out what he's up to before he is actually publishing it, so we can prepare our next narrative beforehand. Oh my lord, this is rough. Oh, why was your wife? Did you order the Bonton bombings? Oh no, this is. I was fine with Orwell in the first game, but this is messed up. In the dark caves of the end in the dark caves of the endless information network they lurk, out to get any innocent victim standing in their way. As from now, I shall call them media monsters. The government apparatus designed to control our minds. These awful creatures, who cannot be considered human, are again trying to damage my family members in order to get to me. They cannot tear us apart. Release his family members to be loyal to him. So we're going to make a thesis saying that they're not. His family is loyal to him. Oh please. I wonder if Raban believes himself what he writes here. In any case, let's see if we can shake up that feeling of loyalty a bit and prove Raban wrong, for himself and for the public. Agent, get me pairs of data chunks from which I can construct narratives that we can spread. Pay attention to anything we might use to put Ilya or Karen's loyalty to him in doubt. This is messed up though. Oh my god. Oh my lord. This is messed up. How could we do this? Oh. Oh, I know what you're going to do. You're going to make the brother and your wife seem like they're dating. Ooh, we're going into Karen's. Oh no, we're going into Karen's computer. This is gonna go bad. Voice acting. I'll sit back.
Brother, I can't believe they arrested Karen. I'm not sure what to make of it. What was she doing there at the mall? Today? In the middle of a police raid? Claims of misappropriating funds? That all sounds like total bullshit. I'm just trying to understand. Do you know anything?
This is not a good time.
It's okay. I understand. Sorry.
No, I don't think you understand at all. My wife has been abducted by ruthless government forces to get me and break me. Yet here we are, feign concern and immediately question what I know. Why? Ah, I see. You must have read it too. That I called her right before the incident.
Raban.
It is true. I called moments before. What does that mean to you, dear brother? She was there against my advice, to track down this impertinent army woman. Karen wouldn't listen. She just pressed on and ignored me. She suffered the consequences because of it.
How can you say that? She suffered the consequences of not listening to you, her wise and all-knowing husband.
What did you say?
How dare she defy the great Rabban Vat? She was there, helping her patient, and you have no compassion. You are more concerned about being...
How do you dare say that? She is my wife.
Well, how dare you try to blame her for getting mixed up in all of this?
You insolent pest.
You have done nothing but snub me ever since we left the encampment. I've had it with this crap. For the record, if you hadn't kicked me out of TPV, I'd quit.
Go then, finally. You never cared for our cause anyway.
This is rough. um. I think things are going to go really bad now. So these in there. Now this is downright heartless. And then he talks about loyalty. Okay. Oh no. You've done nothing but. Perhaps a past transgression of some kind we don't yet know. Yes, we could use this to put Ilya's loyalty in question. But first, we need something more concrete. Yeah, I know exactly what you need. I know exactly what you need. Woman. How about we get these beach? Oh, device is offline. Now that's interesting. They're not going for it yet. They're waiting. Private. I stood in the lunch line for 1.5 hours and then there was nothing but bread left. You know, I am not at all a fussy with food. But after not having any lunch for the last 2 days, it stresses me out. The guy at the food handout told me to fuck off if I didn't like it. I love you. Okay. Married Ravan. Okay. Very picturesque. Maybe you can find a photo somewhere. Okay. You want a photo? Playing cancels meeting for surprise visit. Okay, we know that already. This is a case for Raban Vart. Old. Ah. Considering the trauma he endured when this school got bombed, this comes as no surprise. Okay, okay, calm down, but this got a related document, so that's good. Around the summer of 2012, the patient went through a sudden change. He seemed to be more outgoing, happier, willing to talk more. Okay. I strongly recommend to extend therapy and would like to keep him under close observation. Oh. This could make it seem like she wants to observe him instead of just... How awfully caring of her. Or maybe not. This could be useful to make Raban doubt Karen's motivation in marrying him. But we need the right context first. Ugh. Ugh, that is really scummy. This is really scummy. Ilyavart. He especially emphasized his heroic escape from the military service in Pages at multiple occasions. Oh, okay. Optimism and good nature. This is gonna be odd. Huh! I'm sure this can change. Sure, this can change as well, but man, this is really scummy. Whatever's happening right now is very scummy. Scummy, scummy. You're a dummy. Yeah, scummy, scummy, scummy. Headlines. If we get something in here. Party. Okay, we have this guy again. I had this before. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's what they were talking about last time. I didn't understand. Okay, I understand now. Whoops. Do we have some interesting people here? I think these people were just interesting for the other game. So this is fine. Administration log. Banned access from his phone. But also, we gain access to his phone. Okay, calm down, calm down. Oh, this is in 2011. Oh, look at description. Oh. Doesn't like me one bit. This is a contradiction. It's not necessarily affected to Raban. And says, I love you. This was sent when though? Oh, I know what's going on here. You want me to say this? Oh no, that's terrible. Oh right, I need to go to Raban. Oh no. Getting out at any cost, hmm? Yes, this could definitely be useful if backed with the right fact. Yeah. This is scummy. If I do this, it's really scummy. Oh no. Oh no. He just talks really nice to him, right? So kind of want to be scummy, but not that scummy. So I'm gonna put this one in there. Oh no, that's too sweet. There. Okay, we got this. Oh my god. Yeah, he. Okay, okay. Never mind creating any narratives. He got a thing for her. Okay, this is not okay. Um, let's go to gallery. Oh, he plays either Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh. I think it's Magic. This is Karen again, right? Yeah, he got a thing for Karen. That's definite. This is what we already saw. Cassandra Watergate. Oh. Now, it's not exactly easy. Truth to be told, I often dream about quitting, and not just quitting, but getting out and away from my brother. Oh, that is kinda your fault that you said that. Not surprising with a brother like that. Especially if he got belittled by Raban all the time. This would make for a fine story. Give me a moment. We now possess one narrative we could potentially spread. However, we can only hit Raban after he has published his next article. We'll need to bide our time for the moment. Use that time well to dig for more narratives. Get me everything that could be of use. Oh, it's already time. You are still able to dig for more narratives, so you may want to do that before you spread anything. As soon as you're ready, spread the narrative that... Okay. Oh no. Oh no. This is... scummy. Okay, that changed. Home. He posted it. Okay. I think there's more to this phone. E-ticket wallet is empty. Notes. Back to the Future 2. Uncle Simus? Okay. Captain Ilya James. Okay. An extra person. Don't know how that's relevant, but maybe it can be. Know his location already? Contacts. Oh, her phone. I didn't have that yet? Ooh, I should have done that first, I guess. Okay. Let's see. No, wait. Is there more? No, there wasn't, right? Only 2 pictures. Wait. That was Cassandra. Oh, this is not her. This is Cassandra. See, I see. Okay, I guess. And they made it sound like there was another narrative to be woven here. But I guess Not? Oh, wait, what? Around summer, I went through. Yeah, let's just add those as well. Whatever. I don't know what kind of narrative that makes, but sure. Raban got better all of a sudden. Something important must have happened at that time. Huh? I don't think this is it. Is this it? Permanent residency is granted upon marriage to a citizen, for the spouse as well as the family members. Thinking about Raban wanting to escape by any means necessary, this sounds like he could have arranged a sham marriage. Let me get a little bit creative here. Oh, there is a different narrative. That was not what I was going for. But okay, I guess. Damn it. Which one do I do? If we keep Ilya on our side. Oof. Oof, this is a big oof. Neither my wife or I married for any other reason, then it's none of your fucking business. So back, fuck off, you fastest asshole. Getting angry. Oh god, attacking Vard's marriage was a good idea. Very personal. I believe many of his followers took this too hard too. Raban has taken a blow, but he's not going down yet. Speaking of which, let's check on what he's up to writing. Okay. Blaine and Khazard are conspiring against. I think that's the only thing. Falling back into her old habits, are we? Bart is trying to shift the attention to Blaine and Khazard's meeting. It's one of a kind of opportunity for him to back up his conspiracy theory. Reports saying that there are already people gathering in the front of the presidential palace where the two are meeting, attempting to stall the talks in the name of the people's voice. We cannot let this claim go unchecked, or the situation there might escalate, not on our watch. If he's into conspiracies and hidden agendas, how about us playing the same game? I'm certain you can get me enough information to let me construct our own little conspiracy theory. Keep in mind, we have to hit Raban Vard hard this time. Very hard. We must break his follower base. Jesus Christ. This is getting out of hand. Elizabeth Levine. Dear friends, unfortunately Karen will not be available anytime soon as she has been arrested. We are deeply troubled by this news, especially seeing Karen has always been a law-abiding, truly good citizen. I cannot help thinking that they're... Oh. Opposed to marrying. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know if it's for the narrative we want to create. See? So she is the daughter of Elizabeth Levine. Against this backdrop, it's quite remarkable Karen professionally counsels refugees. Broke contact with her mother. Hmm. Hmm. We'll keep that one open for now. See if there's something in here about the marriage. My daughter is Karen is a kind-hearted person. Okay. Did you know this impertinent person invited soldiers into his school? Shelter depreciation army. Oh. Related document. By that, Vart may have drawn fire directly to the school. Why would he consider such a thing? How mindless can you get? He deserves to go down, and so he will, by our hand. Okay, you're getting kind of crazy. Seems sure that investigator you're paired with got the Buntown bombing perpetrator. I'm impressed. Okay. For her mother, Elizabeth Levine's position. So this is the conflict, right? I guess if you want to make that connection, you want to let it know that she is supporting the mother instead of her. Ha! I certainly didn't expect them to be that close. To be honest, good for us. But before we can put any meaningful blame in Karen's direction, we need a more concrete detail to spice it up. Jeez. This is going crazy. This is going crazy, I tell you. I managed to make a deal with Oleg, who's unit from the will protect ours. Cool. Oh, that's where Oleg comes in. So this is why Oleg and Roban met at the school. They had some kind of protection deal going on. Sounds extremely dumb to me. This may prove to be very valuable indeed. The only thing missing is a questionable reason for Roban having chosen to do it. Okay, this one I know. David Johns. Know that I stand with you. Ilya got your parents, Anastasia and Milovan, in deep trouble. Wait. This is the father, right? Oh, the son. Oh, yeah. This is the father and mother. Okay, we'll keep this one in mind. Need a document? In what kind of trouble? From Oleg. I have to disappoint you. This is from today. What the hell happened? Raban, I am not quite as dead as you had planned. Not yet. I may be soon. But for now, I found a way to at least ride this mill. I didn't expect you to sink so low as to work with the office. Oh. What happened? This would have been so much easier if he was. I don't know where that came from, but there is no way we can build a conspiracy theory involving us directly. Okay, understood. I'm sorry I brought it up. Now the office wants to get rid of me. Wait, what? Where's Oleg? Nonsense! If we wanted to get rid of Oleg Bakai, we could have done so when we got a chance, but how did you learn that exactly? What did Bakai do? How did he get out of there? I figured we need to check on him once more. Good for you to report this to me. My unit was being targeted by someone unknown, that was all. Oh! This is what their deal was about. Not protection for the school, but shelter for the army. At least probably. So Raban practically sold the school's shelter to the Bajician army as I read it. How very careless of him. Good. We have a narrative again. We cannot spread it yet, though. Not before Raban publishes his article. Keep searching around. I need... You took me away. Oh, here. For God's sake, Radka died in that bombing. That is very damning. What a tragedy. We knew she had been present that day. Oh, you knew? Oh. Was it a shock for me too? Okay. Right. We still haven't found that. That's weird. Okay, let's see. Do we have more chunks here? Nope. Do we have chunks here? We have one here again still. Yeah, because we only click. Oh. What party? Receive financial report by the party. And then with the... Wait. Ha! I bet Raban has no idea about Karen's entanglement with the party, nor has anyone of his followers. But possibly they should. Especially that Karen so firmly backs her mother is a fact that should not be omitted. There you go. Okay. Okay. Calm down. Issues. Meet Elizabeth. Her son Maxwell Levine, that's a brother. Okay. Don't really know him, but it'll be good. Let's get this. Update in 2005. This is an old article. Is there gonna be anything here? I think it's way too old. This is not interesting. How about this? Wait. Wait, what? Since the government has recently been actively trying to silence our report, yeah, and try to draw blah, 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 we have switched to a closed message board that only members with a special login can view. Please contact Anastasia Vart if you would like to receive access to our messaging board. I think I know what it is. Maybe he's like his... What? Ilya Janeway. Captain Ilya Janeway. Captain Ilya Janeway. Dimas. Oh, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I figured it out. It was her brother. Holy moly, I didn't expect that, Mom. You two were revolutionaries? Yes. They weren't members of the FTP, were they? Raban openly criticizes Khazard all the time. I doubt we can gain any benefit from knowing his parents may have done the same thing. True. 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 Uncle Simus wanted to invite Olebeke just because families lives next door, Doesn't mean we have to show hospitality to followers of our regime. Too much risk. Seems the ones were literally closer than we thought. Yeah, this is interesting. Let's move ahead. We did know this already. I don't. Oh. Oh. Now that's something. Oleg, Oleg, Oleg. Wait, who is it for? Oh, Roban said that. Ah, this may well be true reason Raban made that protection deal with Oleg, don't you think? Whether true or not, we could let everyone know. I think that is the most, like, damning one, to be honest. Is this already conflicted? No. Wait, successfully fled. Wait, but this... Oh, right. Let's let's add that in, because I see another threat coming in here. The army of Perges forcefully recruited a lot of men into their ranks when the conflict with the FTP erupted anew. Seems Ilya has been no exception to it. Oh shit. oh, oh shit. He was in the first infantry, sorry, and he failed. He got punished. Do you have any idea what that punishment may have involved? Robot, publish this article. Time to strike back. You can go on searching for more material to create narratives from though. Please take your time. When ready, strike Raban as hard as you can. We need to make this count. A moment. Wait. Why is he leaving? Ilya's making a run for it, it seems. Who can blame him? Why, we could, of course. Maybe he'd consider staying if the news would turn out to be against his liking. Yeah, we have to make a news about him. Oh, he's already there. Already at the center station. He's really going to follow through with his plan then. So if you want to try and do anything about it, you better hurry up. I think I should. What? Oh god. Let's do it. Wait. Let's see if... What? Okay. Let's click that. Nope. One more, I forgot. Truly horrible. Then again, maybe it was all about Ilya trying to flee from the... I mean, oh, that was the punishment? I think this is the story we need. That's messed up though. Jesus. I got that one already. It's all spread and done. Having Ilya's parents abducted as a punishment for his own failures was a good idea, but I doubt it was the best one we could get. Good work, but not good enough. Raban is still around and he still has loyal follower base. So what absurdities does he dare to claim this time? Damn, that wasn't the best I could do? Damn. Oh, this means we have another hit we can put. Getting late though. He's blaming the nation for his own fault. Our own army attacking a school, we're peacekeepers. It's high time to turn things around. This has to end now. We cannot let these preposterous lies stand. We will destroy Raban Vart now. You will. Now. Get me something that shows beyond any doubt that the nation isn't the one to blame here. Nation bombed Bravo secondary? Okay. David Johns again. You had mentioned him before. Regardless, it doesn't matter what role Doesn't matter what role he had with the people's voice. What matters is only the destruction of Raban. I think this is probably important though. Lied about his brothers. I am not a hero. Wait, what did he say? Lied for about his brother Raban Fart in the past. Okay. This is an old log. Why is this here suddenly? Need to kind of like going all over time. Wait, what exactly did Ilya lie about regarding his brother? Ooh. But despite this, we have profited a great deal from being considered a hero. Raban Fard is a sad joke, bereft of moral standards, and he is going down. I am worried about things. Raban, it's a lie. It's all a lie. I'm not your friend. I've never been. I can't fully explain it at this time. I've only been here recently. I've just been informed that you're about to claim the nation bombed your school. You have no idea how right you are. I realize this may be the last chance to get out of this mess. So I got the hands of some internal documents. Were secured from the cell. Only one knows was the wait. I'll just take the summary. Was the only civilian retrieved from the Had to be protected from an angry mom after the school entrance. So? We knew this already. I think we knew this already. This I don't know. Huh? The power of the people. What did he do to deserve that? What happened here? What happened? What did I do? Has been pointed. What? How does this person leak confidential information to Raban Var? This is very troubling news. I am not aware of any one of our people with this name though. I'll turn this David Johns into a target person. You may want to investigate. Remember though that Raban Vard remains the prime target. Get us something to obliterate him with. The Johns. We're going into overtime this time. Extra document. Ramanvard, the only civilian? I don't see any hint to his students there. I thought he had rescued a lot of students. Oh, that's true. I forgot that. Jesus. Maybe Alexander is interesting, isn't he? Just still put it in there, I think. We need to now go out of the box. That's what we... What is this? Okay. Found David Johns. What kind of odd call sign is that? That's not one of our agents, is it? You think? Somehow I get the feeling this might not be our guy. Think? Oh. I'm sorry, but I think he's involved somehow. Okay, indeed. Let's go look at the call signs. Call signs. This all the way down. Wow, we have a lot of information. Search. X to think. X to think. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, right? Except, of course, you're not. It is one of our own people then. Unfortunately, as an influencer persona, I'm afraid David Johns isn't simply one person. Oh! Those personas are controlled by different real person in our services. Even I cannot tell you who is controlling them at this time. You must help find the traitor behind David Johns. Get me the real name. The hell? Good thinking. Now get me their identity so I can find them and make sure they don't undermine our work any longer. Should I maybe think about that? Hey, about that, Ilya is on his way somewhere. Might want to check that out. And he's gone. Ilya's out of the question. Though I am not sure whether that will make our life easier or harder. Okay. This document is encrypted, I could tell you, but you will need to make it encrypted. He's a Raban fan, so is it Raban Var? I have a feeling it's not that. The people's voice? Not that. It couldn't be X to think, because he already knows. Influencer. Influencer. No way, right? No way, right? It is not, right? Whew. That would have been a weird one. That would have been a weird one. All my pupils doubted. Okay, that's incriminating. I cannot believe it. This man, this fraud. To claim he saved the students despite... We should have known. We should have known a long time ago. This is what Ilya must have lied about. All these lies make me sick. But there's one silver lining. This is all we need. No need to construct a narrative. This itself will be his undoing. Bring him down. Bring him down! There's more. There's more. I think you should calm the frick down. Okay? Calm the frick down. So there's nothing here. Okay. We're going to be sure that we all calm down. This is difficult. Where was I? I did not mean to... Okay, here. Okay, well, according to that, we don't have anything here. I think there's more here in Christian. There's a conflict with one unknown data chunk. We need to know more. Okay, I think we really do need to do this. No way. There's no choice here. Actions. See what this achievement is. Decreases their numbers. Okay. Take a look at Blabber. You need to see this. Okay. This ignorant, miserable bunch. There are still far too many people standing by the people's voice. We have failed. This is it. We failed, plain and simple. Our efforts are for naught. The rise before the presidential palace, rage unchecked. All we can do is hope for... What? Raban is starting an announcement. I fear for the worst. This is the end, Agent. What are you talking about? 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 Oh no.
My dear followers, those of you who still remain, the story that has finally been spread by the despicable government mouthpiece. It is true. All of it. I never saved those children. Because I was too afraid. Because I ran for my life, eager of saving it before theirs.
He went into the
Here
bunker.
I now am. Alive. And they aren't. I had so long forgotten about it. And now it's shaking me to my core. I believed that if I only tried hard enough, I could change things. That I could make things better for my people at home in Parges. I believed I could fight against the corrupt, evil, rotten politicians longing for power at the people's expense. I believed I could free my home country from these parasites and go back home. If only I twisted words long enough. We all need a reliable base on which our world is based. Our truth. This was mine. But now I realize that I've been living a lie. Not only a lie that made you believe in me, but a lie that allowed me to forget who I actually was. A far too comfortable lie. Only one thing is worse. Knowing that even as I speak, you all continue. Carry on, fight on with all your fury, perpetuating that very lie endlessly, creating new truths based on fake claims put out there ages ago. What will become of this world when everybody has their own truth? What will be real, dependable? Everything will be nothing. Truth is dead. And I killed it that very day I was too afraid to speak up and correct a mistake. But no longer. This story has to end on my terms. There's hardly anything more concrete than a bullet. It creates a tangible, uncomfortable fact. The very
Uh-oh.
thing needed for a resurrection of truth.
That's how this ends? Is there another end to this? No way. That was it? Oh no. Just because of one little fault, I guess. Can't let it end like that. Can I? Uh, I'm confused. Huh. I will have to look it up. I am giving up. Oh, jeez. Mm. Where did I get this? Peter. I knew this was gonna be it. I'm so confused. Socialite. Oh, this unknown person. Where's David? Oh. Oh. I knew it. I knew that was it. I just didn't. Ah. Been in there several times. I'm an idiot. Of course. But you will need to make this encryption disappear. I knew I need to finish this sentence. I just didn't know how it disappeared. Damn it. If you can read this, it must mean the office has come for me, and you're my doom. The decision I could possibly make was to sign up for Orwell and then post about it. I would have to make you disappear. Haha, it's so ironic. I'd have to laugh out loud if it weren't so bitter. 2 days later, I get a particular email you may have seen. Sorry about the hassle with the password there. I needed to be sure you'd see what I have been doing for them. So you'd at least possibly believe me. I've been spreading hate in their name. In the name of the nation and on the one and orgies on the other. I feed their rage. I can't get out. I don't know what she'll do to my dad if I quit. I can't continue like this. I don't want to. That heinous bitch Ampleford, she's the queen of all lies. She might have told you she doesn't know who I am. Ugh, don't believe a word she says. She knows everything already. Why she needs you then, agent? Why she needs you then, agent? Didn't you figure it out already? She needs only for verification only. Everything in Orwell is mandatory to be acted upon. Everything. She isn't interested in finding out the truth at all. All she is interested in is having her own fucked up version of the truth in Orwell. So she's allowed to do whatever she desired. What's in Orwell becomes the truth. But this can't be used against her. It's nearly so simple. All I need to do is lie for me. My name is Melissa Bethany O'Brien. My call sign is Ampleford. Whoa. See. No, that's my name. Mine, you imbecile. Oh, I get it. You're cooperating with Iris Young then. Aren't you quite bold of you to trust a professional liar? This duplicitous bitch. We shouldn't have entrusted her with David Johns and the others. First she blabbers about her job and now this. But I'm afraid you have seen enough, agent. This is where your little adventure off track. Okay. let me do it in the voice. I'm so tired because it took me too long to get here. If you expect me to become magically arrested now because you shifted the blame on me, no, this isn't the way things goes at the office. Now, back to where we were. Would you kindly take care of Robin Fart? Okay, so going to guess this is where. So wait, is she then concerned one? Iris Young is concerned one, probably. I think. Why did it change? Oh, now because I can get in there. I see. So now what I should do is go get her information through the national government. Ampleford. This is now Melissa O'Brien's. Oh, what now? Are you trying to dig up dirty... Oh, what now? Are you trying to dig up dirty stuff on me? Incriminate me? An admirable plan. If this was your regular Orwell setup, and you were an investigator, and I was just any advisor, it might have worked out. But like I told you, things don't go that way with the office. Your actions are getting you nowhere. National citizen, head of operation, war is peace. What is war is peace? Related. Take one step further down this road and I will make you disappear. The operation is part of a larger ongoing video. The objective is to permanently entrap in conflict and by the means of weakening of the cultural and economical society of the rival counterparties in order to ensure peace and prosperity of the nation. Oh. That's a big one. This comes as a surprise to you, I take it, but why in the world would the nation warrant this? You're just as naive as any do-gooder. Do you have any idea what vast economic damage the rise of Parges beyond the year 2006 would have caused the nation? We had to act, or our country would be where Parges is now instead. Civil war, poverty, starvation. We have averted all of that for the public good. Well, of course, for the public good. For the public good doesn't mean it's going to be good for everyone. The nation has to come first, always. But I'm not so dumb as to believe you would grasp what I just told you and change your course of actions. You'd never listen. After all, you have been picked specifically because you thought you were in control, that the world revolves around you, agent. You would rat out your best friend, just like that in the aptitude test, remember? So ruthless, so pure. The aptitude test was never meant to check for you abilities as an agent. It was meant to check your character for manipulability. So what is your next move? Now that you have this precious piece of information, did you hope I would grant you to spread it with an influencer? I'm enjoying far too much you sitting on it, being unable to share it with anyone until we come for you. Oh, but you see, I am smarter than you. I know where to go. It's where you go. Type it all out. Yes, you're almost there. And done. Vertical leaks, I see. You're more clever than I anticipated. This is entirely my fault, I admit. What? Did you expect me to go, oh, what have you done, you fool? On you. Why would I do that? You still seem to be clinging to the faint hope you could change a thing in this. Make a difference. Your ignorance is delightful, Agent, as it is pathetic. I'll leave it to the others to assess the effects of that what you just did, while we take care of the cleanup. In the end, we will win. We always do. Oh, is this the end?
My dear followers, this is going to be my final announcement. Why?
Oh no.
Because the truth now lies in your hands. Take a good look at what has just been revealed on PercoLeaks. It has been exposed and proven, nonetheless, that the governments of both the nation and Parges are corrupt frauds, responsible blatantly for misleading and killing their own people. It's now public knowledge that these governments are conspiring in order to keep the conflict alive. A long, devastating war that has already cost so many lives. This bloodshed is unnecessary, and it's all for nothing. Nothing but the political power of a few rich, evil, and corrupt men in suits. There is only one logical course of action. I call on you. I challenge you to finally stop believing the lies coming from these corrupt leaders. Power is nothing but a common belief, and it is waning by the minute. Shake off the invisible hand on your shoulder. What becomes of the future is up to you alone. You, the people, need to shape your own truth. And to those of you who listen to me because those men pay you for it, know that your time is finally over. Because the people will rise.
Yay! Did it! Took a while. Oh my god. That was more like it. Oh. Here's my thought. This game was not as good as the first one, I would say, when it comes to the complexity of the story. I think it was very like straightforward and simple, to be honest. Um, the whole thing with the other agent, I guess, the David Johns, that one was what I expected to be in the first game, but ended up being in this game. It's like they put the ideas they had for the first game, scrapped it, and put it in this, you know? So, yeah. It was good, but wasn't as impactful as the first one.